Oh, hi there. I didn't see you. My name is Raj, and today in this episode, I'm going to be working on my villager trading hall, basically getting all the trades, curing all the villagers, and also getting all the enchantments for my armor right here. So why don't we get started? So the plan for today is to try to finish the villager trading hall because I seem to have this habit of starting projects but not finishing them. So I have all the librarians with the right enchantments in here. They haven't been cured yet. I'm gonna have to add a lot more villagers in here. And the other part is I'm going to have to finish this part because it doesn't have any sticky pistons, which doesn't allow me to either cure the villagers or for the villagers to drop into their slots. So I'm gonna try to finish that. Plus, what I also need to do is work on the exterior if I have enough time and kind of make it line up with the terrain around it. So here I am in my iron farm, and I'm just going to try to grab as much iron because I need it for something. So why I need the iron was to repair this thing. I also need some of these blocks. I need to get rid of all of the gold in here and all the emerald blocks because I need that for the villager trading I'm going to be doing. And all the blocks from the pyramid are replaced with iron blocks. So now I have tons of gold blocks, emerald blocks, and diamonds. So one thing I want to do before the villager trading hall is there's been this guy wandering around. So I want to see if I can tame him. I mean, I could lower it. There. Okay, it's done. So now, let's see how quick he is. Okay, that didn't work. So let's see. Doesn't seem like he's very quick. So let's put down the fence post. Let's put the lead on him. Let's connect it to there. So now he will be stuck here. And I have my name tag here. And because of the pattern of his coat, let's call him Checkers. So it kind of seems weird to get the horse after I've gotten a leech and other stuff, but I've been pretty tempted because I keep seeing this horse around. So there has been some wolves I've seen around, so let's give him some bones. There we go. And I have a name tag, so Pat the dog. Where is he? Get out of the hole. Okay, so just follow me over here. Okay, so new collar and sit down. Cool, so we both have a wolf / dog and we have a horse. So might as well just keep taming any mobs that I can find along the way. I need to find, there it is, Nether Warts. So Nether Warts, and also I need soul sand, which is in here. So I just need to grow some Nether Warts. Actually, I don't need to do Nether Warts for what I'm going to be doing, but I might as well do it anyways. So what I want to start doing is brewing some potions, specifically some potions of weakness for curing the villagers. So for potions in general, Nether Warts is bonus because then you can make an awkward potion that allows you to give effects to potions. So now let's plant these, and I mean there's probably some really complicated way to set up a farm for this, but it's just easier to plant them on here, wait for the right moment, then I'll come back with a fortune enchanted tool to try to get more Nether Warts. So it's not pretty looking, but I think that'll work for the moment. So I think I've given it enough time, and the Nether Warts looks like it's at its final stage. So let's grab as much as we can of this. I think this should be a couple hundred, hopefully, of Nether Warts. Okay, cool. So I have 3 stacks, and I might as well plant a little more because you can always use more Nether Warts. So while I was waiting for that to grow, I was doing some other stuff, but I worked on this, which is for my brewing. So it's right next to my enchanting spot, and I definitely put more work on the inside than the outside. So there's lots of black stone, some, what is that, crimson wood, and then I put some barrels, and you can see some plants and stuff, cauldron, and some Nether Warts for decoration. So I'm probably just going to keep tweaking this. I feel like I gotta keep apologizing every time I build something off screen because yeah, I shouldn't do that. So I have all of my supplies ready for the brewing, and I'm hoping that I can remember to do this right. So let's put 3 potions in because it's a little more convenient. I have my blaze rods, which you're supposed to craft into blaze powder first. I think that is enough. So we'll throw that in there. That'll give us 20 charges. And what I need is fermented spider eye. Okay, cool, I can craft that. So let's craft that. So when we do that, it'll distill into those. So even though I don't have that many supplies to craft fermented spider eyes, I should be able to get a lot because I can do 3 water bottles at a time. So you can see I have the potions of weakness, and you just add 1 gunpowder, and that'll give me 3 splash potions of weakness. So it's going to take me a while, but I'm going to try to get as many splash potions of weakness as possible for the curing, because I'm going to need a lot, because I'm going to be curing a ton of villagers. And I'm done brewing all of the potions. So I still have some extra fermented spider eyes, and I still have lots of fuel. But I just ran out of, gunpowder. So I have 3 chakra boxes of splash potion of weakness. I don't think that'll be enough. I actually wanted enough that I had some, left over after I do all of this. But that should be enough for now. And I used the wrong pickaxe and destroyed the ender chest. And I'm definitely going to have to increase the space in here because this is really cramped. Let's see, I have 52 apples in here. Oh, I got 2 stacks. That's good. And let's take all of my gold and let's see how many I can get out of this. So this is pretty much all of the gold I have at the moment. So let's see how much that uses. That almost uses all of my gold just on these golden apples. You know what? Let's do it. So eventually this will force me to have to go and either mine in the caves more to get more gold, or actually build, well, I actually have more gold in here, or actually have to build a gold farm. The next step is going to be to get all of these. So I kind of kept all of my crops from the beginning because they've kind of been useful with the villager trading, and I'm definitely going to use them for setting up the trades for the farmer villagers. Oh, by the way, I also have these guys in here. So Creeper and 2 of the pillagers got stuck in boats because before I got Elytra and set up my nether portals, I would just go from my boat over to the village over there. So I always left a boat in the water, and I guess these guys aren't smart enough to be able to get out of the boats. And another thing I've been doing is just trying to get as much bone meal as possible. So I've been putting my excess wheat seeds through here into the composter and into here, and I have way more bone meal than this. I have a chest that's up in my storage area that I think has at least a couple stacks of bone meal blocks. And I have finished the harvesting and replanting of all of the crops, and I have a part of a shulker box and my inventory is full of crops. The bone meal is working, and eventually I plan on replacing this, but what's the point? I mean, it's still working and it's doing its job for me. Actually, before I go to the villager trading hall, let's give these guys some wheat, because right now my villager breeder is empty, so I could use some extra villagers right now. So might as well give these guys some wheat so they are willing and able to breed. So why I needed all the crops was to get the first trade. So unfortunately, unlike the librarian, which you can just break their job site block to reset their trades, that doesn't exactly work with the farmer villager. So what I need to do is basically just keep trading with them, see what they get at the second level. I want a pumpkin trade specifically. If they don't have that trade, then what I'm going to have to do is basically drop them, infect them, basically kill them, and then get another villager from my villager breeder to replace them. So let's see if this works this time. Now let's see what trade this guy gets. Pumpkin, so that's perfect. So that one worked. And what I want is a pumpkin trade and also a melon trade, but the melon trade is guaranteed. So let's keep going and see if we can get more pumpkin trades without having to kill these guys. First defeat. So I got 5 out of 5, which is pretty good. So let's infect this guy. So let's get rid of this guy. That's pretty good. Only 2 out of the 10 didn't get the right trade. So the reason I want to do the farmers first is because I have tons of melons and pumpkins. So I want to lower the price on them first so I can get tons of emeralds. So now I got to do that next. So sorry guy, but you're going to be zombified. I also just realized something. When I drop these guys right now, there is no block above them, so they'll get hit with sunlight, so they'll catch on fire when they become a zombie, so I should probably cover that up before I start infecting all of them. So I put some tinted glass above the villagers so they won't burn up when they become a zombie. That should fix the problem, although I probably should replace the tinted glass on the sides because it just makes those pathways incredibly dark for mobs to spawn. But anyways, I have all of the splash potions. I have some golden apples and more crops. And I also have tons of melons and pumpkins. So I'm kind of curious how many emeralds I can get out of this after I cure all the villagers and get them down to 1 emerald for 1 pumpkin and 1 emerald for 1 melon. So I have cured all the villagers. So if you click on this guy, the Sweeping Edge 3, you can see it was at 17 emeralds, but now it's only 1 emerald for Sweeping Edge 3 enchantment, which is pretty good. And this goes with all the guys. Impaling 5, it was at 38. Thorns 3, it was at 17. So this definitely makes it a lot easier to get all the books that I need and easier to enchant my armor. I have bought all of the books that I need for the enchantments, and you can see to make things a little easier I had to put up signs and put all the enchantments that I'm going to need for each piece of armor or gear. So some of these are pretty basic. Flint and steel, I only need 2 enchantments. Those are just the durability ones, so they last longer. The hoe just needs efficiency and also fortune. That'll just be for crops, and there's some other uses for hoes now. Some of these are pretty obvious, so things like chest plate, protection on breaking thorns, mending. Now, I always see that people question the thorns enchantment, if it's really worth putting on there. I mean, it's debatable, you don't have to put it on there, but I think it's pretty good because it increases the chance of doing damage to the mob that's attacking you or player that's attacking you. The only really big downside I think to it is that it is a high enchantment cost to put on your armor, but if you have it on your armor, it's pretty good. It also stacks, so if you have thorns on each piece of armor, it'll increase the chance of doing damage to the other mob. So with the helmet, Aqua Affinity, of course, to increase the mining speed underwater, respiration to increase breathing, which I probably need because I accidentally drown a lot in this game, so that is a good bonus. And then the boots, there's a lot of boot stuff, so I'm going to be going with Depth Strider over Frostwalker because it makes it easier to move underwater, and I don't really use Frostwalker a lot unless when I'm going to set up a gold farm. I'll definitely need a Frostwalker to be able to walk on magma blocks and not take damage, and I haven't encountered that many piglins or haven't set up a piglin farm yet, so I don't need soul speed or don't have soul speed yet. And then some of these, the sword, it's pretty obvious. With the sword, you just want to do as much damage as possible. So I kind of find the fire aspect annoying, but it does do more damage. Sharpness over the other two, which is Bane of Arthropods or Smite, because it does damage to all mobs, not just one. Sweeping Edge is useful because you can attack multiple mobs at once, and it does more damage to the mobs surrounding the one you're attacking. Knockback, just to give you some space, could be useful for something like creepers. And then I don't have to do the 2 pickaxes because I already have 2 good pickaxes. So I like to have 1 fortune one for breaking blocks and then a silk touch one so it'll drop the block itself. And with the shovel, I like the silk touch over the fortune because like something like gravel can get really annoying dropping flint all the time. And with the axe, I also like silk touch over fortune. Basically, I like silk touch over fortune in general for the tools. For something like, let's say, a bookshelf, instead of breaking the bookshelf, it'll just drop the bookshelf itself. And then I also add sharpness because, well, if you're going to use it as a weapon, it'd be a good bonus. And then that's obvious for the durability. For the bow, I like to have the affinity over the mending, so I only have to have 1 arrow in my inventory. I mean, power is really good for doing more damage. Punch is basically knockback, and flame will light the arrow on fire, which can be useful because at least you can see where the arrow goes also. And then the shears, basically efficiency will make things easier. And I don't have to enchant any of these because I already have 2 shears for this. So I have already 64 levels of enchantments of experience. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do all of these at once, but I'll try to do the high priority ones, which are probably the armor and the tools I use all the time, like the sword. So first thing I'm going to do is use the grindstone. So I'm not sure how many times I've worked this stuff, but I'm just going to take off all the enchantments. And I'm not really getting that much XP. This might be not worth it, but let's see. So yeah, now I have fresh armor and it won't have any penalty to it, so I can put on all the enchantments now. One thing to always keep in mind when you're combining stuff is how much it costs. So you can see, for example, mending only costs 2 to put on this unbreaking book. If you reverse it, I believe it would be 3. So you should always try to get the lowest possible enchantment cost when you're combining books. You don't want to basically just keep adding enchantments onto the same book because it'll be even more expensive. You basically want to do a pyramid. So basically you want to combine like 2 books, another 2 books, and then try to combine those so that you can get the lowest possible enchantment cost. So let's see if I can do that. So thorns is going to be very expensive. So if I put mending on there, it's only going to be 2. And then let's put, why do I have 2 thorns enchantments? Oh, that means I'm missing an enchantment. That can't be good. Respiration 3. Okay, I know which one I'm missing. I'm missing Aqua Affinity, which sucks. And I also lost my anvil. So let's just take a second and grab some iron. The other thing that's kind of a hassle is trying to find the villager that you need, because these name tags are not very clear. I might have to throw some signs up. So there he is. There's the Aqua Affinity guy, and I do not have any books on me. Okay, so attempt number 2. So I did have an anvil in my ender chest, just in case. So let's see which is cheaper. Yeah, that'll be cheaper than the other way. Okay, so if let's see, how do I do this to get the cheapest possible cost? I guess 12 isn't bad. And then 9, let's see. So this one's been worked more than this one. Okay, I think I know how to do this. So put the helmet in, put the 2-1 in, put that one in, and there we go. Okay, this is gonna use a ton of enchantment levels if I do it like this. So that pretty much used up all of my enchantment levels just on the helmet. So I might have to grab some pumpkins and melons and trade with some villagers to get some XP. Okay, so this is the last thing I have left. So I have my sword, and it'll take me 23 levels, and I have every enchantment on my sword. So I've done my shovel, all of my gear, all of my armor. I also have some stuff in here, like elytra that I enchanted, hose, some flint and steel. So everything is perfectly set up, everything is enchanted. It took me so many levels. To give you an idea of how much it actually cost me, I have a full shulker box of golden carrots, lanterns, more lanterns than I think I've ever used in Minecraft. And there's even more lanterns and maps. So basically I used all the emeralds I had. I literally used all of them. And I just bought as much stuff that I could use from the villagers to increase my experience levels up to the point where I could do the enchantments. So it takes a ton of enchantments to do all this, enchantment levels to do all of this. Now that that's done, the next thing I gotta do is put some sticky pistons in here so this part of the villager trading hall can actually work. So let's check how many slime balls I have. So I have 49. So I know there's some in my storage area too. I really gotta finish this. I think I have a habit of starting some builds but not completing them, which is the case with this. Now let's just craft all the sticky pistons. So that should be more than enough for the entire villager trading hall. And we place the pistons on the top. Already messed up. And then we place the sticky pistons on top so that they'll move the stairs. And then we place the sticky pistons on the bottom so they will drop the villagers. Next, we'll place all the glass so that the villagers will be trapped up here. It can easily walk to their job site block. And then next we put the piston in, make sure it works. So that is set. And the next thing is we want to put the string in. So there, this villager goes in, closes up behind them. Next thing is, now I just got to get all the villagers in here, which might take a little while. I should also add the villagers I'm specifically trying to get are the stonemason villagers, so I can get some bricks, because that is going to be part of what I'm going to be doing with the exterior of the villager trading hall. The villager trading hall is complete. I put in all the stuff. There's 10 stonemasons in here. I can put more villagers in when I need it, but right now I don't need any more. One thing I should also mention is that if you actually look through here, I talk about cures and curing villagers a lot, but there's also certain trades where you don't really need to cure anything. So for example, this brick trade, it's as low as it possibly can be, and even these quartz trades are as low as they can be because they're 1 emerald for 1 quartz pillar, so you can never lower the price lower than 1 emerald. So the next thing I'm going to do is work on the exterior of the villager trading hall. So I have a ton of bricks, some glass, some granite that I'm going to turn into polished granite, and I also have some stone because this thing is not just kind of floating right now, so I want to build kind of a cliff underneath to go with the villager trading hall. So for this I'm kind of winging it, and I'm also not sure that I have enough blocks, so this may be only half complete when I'm finished, but we'll see. But it's time to build the exterior of this villager trading hall and see what it looks like. Finished the villager trading hall, I did not like the result. It kind of didn't really work the way I did it. So what I decided to do was take some steps and basically work on the building. So this is a little different, but this shows the progression as I worked on it. Here is the building after I finished the time lapse. The reason I didn't like it was because it lacked depth. It is very flat. There is a bit of texture with the brick and the polished granite, but it needed more blocks involved. Also, the shape is unusual. It is a bit too high up and there was too much space inside. What I did was look at some buildings to get ideas for what I could change. I envisioned this as a railway station themed build, so I basically googled a bunch of different railway stations. Here is the first change I made. I separated it into 3 segments, with the 2 sides on the outside being the same. I got rid of the second level and changed the roof so each segment had a different roof. I kept the deep slate tile stairs as a roof, with the outside segments having a simple roof pattern. Next, I made the middle a semicircle roof. I incorporated glass panes on the outside. The roof also had glass on top to allow light in. The next part is simple. I just extended the 2 sides out so it gave the front and back some depth, so it isn't just a flat surface. After that, I put some windows on the sides, with frames being a combination of quartz pillar and quartz stairs. Also put some polished granite stairs to the top and bottom. This was to break up the brick and polished granite. Plus it is less flat with stairs and some blocks. The last thing was I placed some stone, diorite, and gravel to make it look like the villager trading hall is on top of a cliff. In retrospect, I probably could have saved some time by planning this out instead of winging it. There are still things I want to improve on this, but I'm satisfied with the changes. It definitely fits into my original idea for what I wanted to do with the villager trading hall. I think that is enough for today's episode, and who knows what I'm going to do next episode, but thank you guys for watching.